ask Miss Peggy to give us a selection, if you would, of one of her beautiful poems. And, you can do that now, please.
Thank you. The tribute, I'm going to perform a tribute that I wrote to John Coltrane.
Okay.
Time was dedicated to you, training in with those chronic blues. Like someone in love, they became the African queens, black pearls, soft lights, sweet music, sweet sapphire blues. I see your face before me. You are too beautiful, like an autumn serenade. Restless like the leaves, probing like the breeze, searching like the air, train slow blues, absorbing everywhere. How deep is the ocean? Something he dreamt last night. Harmonic imagination thundering till daylight. Love will come back to me, and he grabs that sexy saxophone, playing all he can hear and all he would like to hear. Equipped to convey emotion, as his lady sleeps, the lush life of a gentle heartbeat. He rises and shines, and the ritual grows. Fiercely adventurous, most absorbing, as we have all gotten to know. Rise and shine, Coltrane lives on. As John Coltrane once quoted, all this in heaven too.
Most beautiful. Boy, you had me going there. I feel a certain energy between you two. Yeah, y'all worked together before, right?
Yes, we have.
Yes. That's
we did some shows in WPFW. Grace Cavalier is a poet in the poem.
Yes,
a couple of shows there, and we've been doing some things off and on.
Beautiful energy.
I love working with Bro.Ah. He always brings out that energy in me.
And I must dare say that I heard your music preceded you, brother. I knew about your music long before I met you. And I met you downtown some time ago at a church there, right there, where the Martin Luther King Library is.
Yes.
And but I'd heard your music long before that, so it definitely preceded you. And the things that I've heard, brother's a master musician, and I feel the energy. Like you were doing that piece. That's on the one.
Thank you.
Very beautiful. Brother, let's talk a little bit about the instrument that you're holding in your hand.
This is a flute.
Okay.
Made from bamboo. It's of course the original flutes. The flutes that we find in Europe, of course, were innovated flutes. European tradition, European culture is a rather young culture. It's only a couple of thousand years old. Whereas, of course, as you know, Africans are the most ancient people on earth. I mean, it's been said many times that the first beings were found in Africa. So we've created instruments that go back millions of years. This simple flute I made it because when I was in Africa, I was told that you could not really be considered a professional or a musician, period, professional, not unless you can make your own instruments.
That's very interesting because here in America, nobody makes their instrument. I mean, we go to the music store and we buy an instrument. That's a very interesting tradition that you would say that.
That makes it rather impersonal when we go to a store and buy it. The ancient people always said that the instrument is an extension of the musician, and the musician must know the instrument so well that the best way to get to know the personality and to love an object, and mind you, most people in the world don't have a relationship with objects as musicians do. We love our instruments, so that to get that personal relationship with the object, it is important that we make our own instrument. Whether it's whether it's a wind instrument or a drum or whatever, you must make your own instrument. Of course, in the forest there are no shops anyway. Where would they buy an instrument? So they're by necessity they must make their own instruments. But being in Africa, I learned a lot of secrets about creating sound and sound instruments, you know. And my name, as you said,
yes,
is a sound. And Africans like to say, Bro.Ah, they stretch that R out. Actually, that R is the name of the god of the moon in ancient Egypt. Just as Ra is the name of the sun god, Ah is the name of the moon god. Of course, I didn't know that when I was given that name. My students at Dartmouth College gave me that name as a nickname. They said either I emanated through my music the sound Ah, or in the classroom, before I would answer a question, I would start with Ah, I don't know. Anyway, it's ended up Bro.Ah, and it stuck.
That's
and I've been wearing it ever since. Later on, I found out the true meaning of that word.
Brother Rob, we're gonna take a short break. We're gonna be right back. We're gonna pick up right there.